Why is it there?
Buzz
Did
Aldrin.
he forget it?
No, Buzz Aldrin donated it.
He hated it?
Donated it.
Alright, donated it to Air?
To, like, the Masonic Temple in Air. So it's in...
No!
So it's the sitting there.
So it's the Masons?
Yeah, they...
So the Masons own the moon?
That's exactly it. Hello, and welcome to episode 005 of the For Your Ears Only podcast. See, I got it right. In this episode, we will look at You Only Live Twice, 1967, directed by Lewis Gilbert. Yeah.
That was first take. Did
First
it well.
take, well done.
I can say my own name. So, we're going to start off with Jack's impressions of this film.
I haven't watched this film in a long time, since I was young, and when I was watching it, I was like, yes, this is going to be a great film. The start of it was great. I was like, oh, this is going to be a big 60s thriller. And if I had to sum up, it would be absurd. Like, it's peak whack weirdness of James Bond.
I think this film is just like a badly described dream. And I'm looking forward to your 2 minutes, because I at the end of the film I was loaded with questions for Lewis Gilbert.
Yes.
Who might not be with us anymore.
None of the team are, probably.
It's a classic. I think the best way I could describe this film is it is ammunition for parody. That's the best thing I can think of it.
Oh, that's 100% right, yeah.
The parody vultures swoop in and pick the good bits out of this film, and then they throw them at everything else. The villain, the cat.
Yeah. All the tropes come from this.
Yes.
This and Goldfinger have all the tropes.
The lair.
The lair, the bald villain.
Yes,
the scar.
The bald villain with the cat.
Yep.
And has not evil fish. The piranhas aren't evil. The piranhas are doing what nature
intended.
So yeah,
that in spaceships and stuff.
Yeah, before you go on to defend the film and I try to rip the film apart, we're going to go into the 2 minute summary. Right. If you've never seen one of these episodes before, then please go back and watch them, because
they're good.
I don't need to give you a reason. Just go back and watch them. And we have a tradition where Jack and I take it in turns to describe the film in 2 minutes. My attempt last week was apparently void, because I said
you can't just say
James Bond stuff happened
and expect that to stand.
Everyone knows what that means. It means spying and fighting and stuff. But okay, so that's a bad word. You're not allowed to use that.
Can't use that phrase.
So we're going to start with your 2 minutes.
Right, okay, get the timer. This is going to be hard because so much happens and 90% of it isn't relevant to anything.
Such as the film. Okay, so
let me get into this position here.
Is this your thinking position?
Yeah, my thinking hard position.
That's fine.
I don't have any notes on this because that would be cheating.
There's no cheating in this. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the film opens with an American rocket in space being engulfed, swallowed, eaten by an unidentified rocket. The USA government and the Russian governments are fighting each other over who's to blame, but the British say that they don't think that the Russians are to blame, it's actually the Japanese. So they say, we'll send our man to Japan. So we cut to James Bond.
Excuse me?
James Bond is our man in Japan this time. He is in bed, and he's actually in Hong Kong. He gets shot, fake killed, and then a title sequence happens. Da, 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 da. Right, and then we come out of that and we go to James Bond's funeral, where he's getting a funeral at sea. So his coffin goes overboard into the water, gets fished out by a British submarine, and it turns out he's actually alive, of course, because there would be no film. 1 minute done? Right, okay, so he gets sent by M to Japan, where he uncovers that it's actually Spectre who is taking control of these rockets. So James Bond stuff happens where he finds out that Blofeld is hidden in a mountain in Japan, and his his plan is to make Russia and the USA at war with each other by stealing their rockets from each other. So James Bond infiltrates the lair with a bunch of ninjas, obviously. And then this Blofeld gets away, but he destroys the mountain and all the lair and everything. And then James Bond and the ninjas escape, and the film ends there.
Okay, I think that's admirable.
I think that was
1 minute
poor.
54.
That was poor.
Well, I think you did. You went through the title sequences.
Yep.
You got to the bit after James Bond gets resurrected. He gets sent to Japan. And then we skip an hour and a half to the mountain sequence. Yeah, I thought
I didn't get that right. Eventually, I'll get it right.
Yeah, I thought. I don't know. I thought it was accurate enough. I think even at that, it was like a dream. He shows up with ninjas. And then he fights this guy inside a volcano, and then the volcano explodes. And yeah, that's only the end. That's only the last 20 minutes. That
is the last 20 minutes. If I had an extra 2 minutes, I could talk about the middle bit.
I don't want to hear any more about it.
This episode is over.
No, I think that was a good explanation. So that was good.
Yeah. I liked the fact that it's in Japan. I think because it's like entirely shot in Japan, basically.
Is it all actually in Japan? Yes.
I think there's some at Pinewood, but he doesn't go anywhere else in the story. I mean, always in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool, like Japan in the 60s.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
What happened in Japan in the 60s? I know one thing that happened in Japan in the 60s, but we're not going to get to that yet because you're going to ask the first question.
He goes to a sumo fight in this film.
Of course it does, because in Japan. How else would you not get in Japan other than a sumo fight and ninjas?
That's how you know you're in Japan.
Yes.
Okay, so we also have a recurring segment where we always ask questions, difficult questions, that only the biggest James Bond fan will get. So our first question for this film is, what is the name of the US spaceship that's stolen by Spectre at the start of the film?
Nice and easy.
That's a nice and easy one. They say it's in the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah. Even I know that. I don't know what the other questions are, so...
That's good.
You mentioned the 60s in Japan, so do you have anything for the history?
The history of the world in 1967. When I was reading more about it, really the 60s has like two major events in the 60s are really the space race. Mm-hmm. Everybody's all talking about space, and also Japan coming out of the war. Japan it becomes like a major economic power, and just its rate of economic rise is staggering. So the world is very focused on Japan and space in the 60s.
I've never heard of anyone being focused on Japan in the 60s.
Really?
No.
Well, they have all the manufacturing and all the cars and all the Sony and all the different companies.
Manufacturing, cars, Sony.
Nissan. I don't know any others.
Sony were on the rise.
Sony were coming.
Okay. I put the space race and the Cold War. I think they're the two big influences. At the time in the 60s, Japan had like a lot of air disasters. Just really not good at making planes. Or flying planes. Or anything to do with aviation. Apparently, they're just not very good at it.
Yeah, Japanese also, can't fly.
Here's a weird fact.
Okay.
This is going to be a short one.
Good.
Okay. So... in 1966, 1 year before this film came out.
Right.
In 1966, there was a drop in fertility in Japan for the first time in ages. So fertility was always going up, but they dropped. And the reason for that was Superstition by Stevie Wonder. No. It was... It was a superstition called Hino Uma, which means fire horse. I suppose that's all you need to know.
What does that mean?
So that is the 43rd combination of the Sex-and-Jerry cycle, which is every 60 years.
Right.
And if a woman is born in 1966, Superstition says they're going to have a really bad personality and very likely to kill their husband.
Okay.
So
nobody made babies in 66.
No one was going to make a child.
They would kill the husband.
50-50, it would be a woman. If it was a woman, they were clearly... No, it wasn't the case they were going to grow up and be a murderer. The issue was to get them married. So if you...
Because nobody wants to marry a murderer.
No one wants to marry a murderer. No. That's the title of today's podcast. If you gave birth and it was a daughter, when it became of age to marry 20 or so years later, and the husband went, "Whoa, we were born in 1966. No, thank you." That was the thing. So people just tried to avoid declined. That year. Yeah.
Until James Bond appeared, and then it shot up.
The year after to make up for everything.
You mentioned something about the aviation industry. Did you know the fact about the film and the plane?
What plane?
Right, so when filming the film in 67, the producers and the director and all the top team were supposed to fly back to the UK after filming, but they got a last minute invite to a ninja show. I've got this written down. They had the last minute invite to see a ninja show, so they decided, just miss the flight. That flight, when it took off, then crashed and killed everybody on it in 20 minutes later. So if they'd got on that flight, then everything would have been ended.
So the ninjas
saved the day.
Everyone on the flight?
Everybody, there was no survivors.
Even Sean?
No, they didn't get on the flight.
No, I mean, there was everyone involved with the film meant to go on that.
Yeah, like the director, I don't know if Sean, but like the director and the producers and the cameraman and all that.
That's mad. That's like some Final Destination.
It is some Final Destination shit. And what else? It was a BA flight and the flight number was 911. Final Destination. But yeah, what else did happen in the 67? Absolutely nothing relevant except it was a summer of love, but obviously not in Japan.
No. This was 66.
Wow, so 67 probably was the summer of love in Japan.
I think there was probably a point in 65 where couples went, right, we can't do this.
But no, I don't think anything else relevant. Apart from, well, maybe. In 67, the US, the USSR, and the UK signed a pact called the Outer Space Treaty.
Right.
I don't know why the UK was involved, considering they are nothing in the space race. But they created this pact, which basically describes how space will be neutral and how you're supposed to act in space, and you can't take over planets, and you can't invade planets and stuff, and you have to be like civil to each other.
The fact that they thought that this was going to be in their lifetime. You can't invade planets. Fucking idiots. You can't have the moon.
Yeah, they can't like fight each other, and they have to work cooperatively in space.
I thought the other day, actually, you know how the moon has an American flag? And I'm like, oh no, we had the flag. Like, how annoying would it be if Russia went up and just took the flag and just threw it away?
Well, the flag's actually not there.
Because they didn't go?
It's Kubrick. No, they did take the flag up, took a picture with it, and then took the flag down and took it away with them.
Why?
I don't know. It's not. None of the stuff's up there.
I don't believe that's true.
But I know that one of the flags that they took up to the moon is actually in air, in Kilwinning in air. Buzz Aldrin came over and delivered it to
Just
Ayr.
for people who don't know, Ayr is in Scotland.
Yep.
It is a tiny area in the west coast of Scotland.
Yep.
No to celebrity Rabbi Buns. Why is it there?
Buzz
Did
Aldrin.
he forget it?
No, Buzz Aldrin donated it.
He hated it.
You know, donated it.
All right, donated it to Air.
To like the Masonic Temple in Air. So it's in
No.
so it's the sitting there.
So it's the Masons.
Yeah, they.
So the Masons own the moon.
That's exactly it. That's all saying.
That's the right.
But yeah, he donated it. So there's the flag from the moon is in Air.
I don't believe you. I need to see this.
I'll go and we'll take a picture of it.
You can't prove it. It's just a flag. I'm sure he drops
Yeah.
it everywhere. That's just for the moon.
Yeah, he just takes a flag anywhere he goes. Here, have this moon flag.
This is from the moon. Nah, I don't believe that at all.
Now that tangent is over.
Okay, thank God we're not talking about how the Masons own the moon and stuff. Let's go on to the actual film itself. And as I said before, I have many questions to go through the film.
What I felt was good about this film, or admirable at least, was that they changed all the staff, the people involved. Obviously, they still the two producers, but went for a different director, different editor, different writers, different screenplay guy.
Definitely different writers.
Everybody was different.
Was this director on any other films after it?
He just came out of a big film called Alfie
Okay.
to come and do this film. I don't know what he did since. But I thought that was a
yeah.
good, rather than stick to like the previous ones all had the same team writing it, and probably they were burnt out after like 5 years.
I think, now that you've said that when you writers, I think the directors were just like, they've probably had like a bucket full of ideas and just went, we need to do all of them. Every single one of these ideas, we have to put them down. Like, I think, I don't know, I did like the way the film was going, and I liked the fact that James Bond was dead. I think he needed to die, not just because it was the name of the film and such. I think the fact that everybody, for being the world's greatest spy, everybody knew his face and knew his name and knew where he was going to be. He needed to be dead.
Yeah,
then,
so people would be chasing them. Really, that was it.
I was saying, like, I was saying to my dad today because we were talking about this. Up until the end of the film, they assume he's dead. James Bond is dead. Yes.
Yeah.
Why is there different assassins going after this random man? So why in the ninja thing there's a guy with poison? Who does he think? Why is he killing him?
Yeah,
Who does he think
he
he
doesn't.
is?
Yeah, you're right.
And then there's a guy with the bamboo.
Yep.
With the
Spike.
Who's he trying to kill?
And then the guy that kills Henderson as well, right at the start.
Yeah. Who do you think this is just a guy that you're just trying to kill? Why are you trying to kill him?
Another guy.
And then at the end, it's like number one Blofeld was going, no, I wasn't seeing you were deed in the paper. Like, you're dead. And it's like, why are you sending people after me then? Maybe the writers didn't think about that.
Yeah, I did think about it. Maybe they're just trying to.
I think there's
solve it.
There's a lot of questions. Like the start, why M's office was in the submarine.
Yeah, hit me with your questions, Derek.
The questions, right? Why was M's office in the submarine?
I don't know. He has a full bookshelf in the submarine.
Yeah, what?
And a full oak office.
What else did I not really understand? I think the film moved around a lot. Like stuff just happened. I don't really know how to word this. Stuff just happened in a way that it wouldn't normally happen.
Okay.
So, like, for example, he goes to... Let's go from the scene where he pretends to be a owner of a chemical company.
Yes.
Right. And he goes in and he has a meeting with this guy.
Yep.
And the secretary's like chatting away and stuff. And then he has an X-ray scanner.
Uh-huh.
Which in the 60s would make so much noise and would probably burn the hole through him. And you can see he's got a gun. Now, the fact that he's carrying and he's backing, he's like, oh, and he just turns and goes, kill him.
Yep.
And then the worst assassins in the world get in the car, let him leave the building. Yeah. Even though they're going to kill him, they let him leave the building into a very public space. And they get in the car and they go, let's just follow him. And then when we get really close, let's just open fire, miss all shots. The other character, whose name I can't remember, appears.
Aki.
Jump in the car, which is the Toyota.
Yes.
And then they drive away. And then she calls for backup.
Yep, because they're getting chased.
Yes, then a Chinook appears from somewhere. But it's not just a Chinook, it's a Chinook with a big magnet. It picks the car up. Like, is this meant to be a secret organisation? Like, oh no, it's all It's all clandestine, except when we pick a car up off the motorway and drop it in the river. Not only is it littering and murder, it's like, it's so above the parapet in terms of clandestine operations. This guy's like, oh no, I can't be seen in the subway. I have my own subway. Yeah, he's picking cars up like one of those crane things at the fun fair and dropping them wherever. Yeah, I had a question about it. I suppose that's just filmmaking, but surely even the writers were going, this is just stupid.
Why does that happen?
What else was there?
Why does Tiger Tanaka, he has his own subway line under the city to travel about so that nobody can recognise him.
It sounds like there's a lot of abuse of taxpayer money. The fact there's just a bar on this train. He should be working, but there's just a bar all the time.
In his personal train.
Yes. And then the other thing I found funny was he said, oh, do you have agents? He went, no, we have ninjas, masters of disguise and concealment. And the very next clip is just guys of you going, ah! Like, running across.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, we have modern day ninjas as well. Modern day ninjas are just ninjas with a gun. That's all they're doing.
That is modern.
I'm like, oh right, okay, these guys are like top notch. What else was there? Yeah, the fact that they get like cigarettes as well that explode.
Yeah.
Rocket bullets.
The rocket bullet was, I found this out, rocket bullets was a real company that paid to have their guns and bullets advertised, used in the film.
Do they actually exist?
They were real, but they put it in the film, but nobody would order them because they were too expensive.
They're also probably really illegal.
So, no, I mean like the army was going to order them and use rocket bullets and stuff.
Surely rocket bullets were just incendiaries.
Apparently they were too expensive, so the government never took on the contracts and that company went bust. But that was real. That wasn't just
I was actually going to joke and say, oh, did the army try and buy them? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's actually quite a good point onto the gadget side of things, because there was the cigarettes from the ninja people.
Yeah.
Who are not very good ninjas, as it turns out. Nothing about them were ninjas. They didn't sneak. They didn't go anywhere. They brought shame to the League of Shadows. Nothing at all.
Nothing happened.
The one thing that was actually really the only spy moment, I would say, which is actual spying, was the safe cracking bit.
Yes.
That was good. That was like espionage. He's like sneaking about and getting
there.
Yeah,
he's to crack the code.
He opens the door and then a building-wide alarm goes off. Why would that alarm go off? Does that go off every time somebody opens a safe?
If you forget your code.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that bit was actually quite nice. I think the story of it was good. Following I think the fact that the whole point Spectre was just trying to antagonise these two major powers. I thought it was a bit of a reach to say, right, we're going to steal this spaceship, and then within half an hour there's going to be nukes flying all over the place, and then we'll be the only ones left. Is like, I don't think it'll work that way. I think that's a bit of a reach.
Everybody's gone if the nukes start.
Yeah, I think, but I get that they were, he followed the trail to Japan as to where this, I don't know,
the rocket
theft device, was landing. They knew roughly where it was, then followed the rocket fuel to another factory, and then took it from there.
See the bit where when they're investigating this sort of rocket factory by the dockyards, and then they get ambushed basically.
Yeah,
that shot where he's on the roof.
That's a good shot.
That's a great shot.
That is a good shot. However, it's got the bit where you see the extras running and going. I think they've all got like the mark hidden, and they run and go, and they stop. They go. Yeah, that was actually I really like because it's got the music over it and such. That whole bit
and
was
you
quite
see them
good.
all coming from different angles and stuff.
Yeah, and then at the very end, he just gets chopped by some guy.
Yeah,
which brings me on to the next bit.
Right.
So again, they don't know who James Bond is. They don't know who this man is.
Yeah. The interrogation bit by the woman.
Yeah, what's his name? He's just I can't remember the name he gives, but he's a. That should have been a question. The name he gives is the owner. So he goes and then he gets taken hostage by the woman.
Yeah, the Spectre agent.
Yes, I don't know her name. It's number 13. Who then says she's going to like peel him
Yes, I know. This whole scene
Right.
and the next scene.
Yeah, so this hurt my... I actually had to rewind it because I was like, have I missed something here? This whole scene where she was going to kill him, he's tied to a chair, and then...
He offers her money to
He offers
escape.
her money, and then she says no because she'll be killed. But then...
They have sex.
Something happened. Yeah, I don't really know what that happened from. And then then next thing they're in a plane, and she's flying the plane, and then she presses a button. Something comes over, and then he's. This is where I think it's like a dream, because then he's just stuck on how to. She jumps out the plane
With a parachute, yeah.
and then he lands the plane. Wait, did you really want to kill him? Because if you wanted to kill him,
Yeah, why didn't she just kill him
plenty of opportunities.
when he was tied to the
Why
chair?
would you not just shoot him?
Do
Do anything. You don't know who this guy is, and you clearly don't want him there. But I don't understand the plane.
It's-
You're not
you
trying
know-
to make it look like an accident or such. Like I don't.
It's
know.
a bit like a Family Guy sketch or a where he does something stupid. Like just instead of just killing him, she flies him into the air,
Yeah.
jumps out of a plane, and
That's exactly
and
it.
tries to kill him that way.
It's like Peter versus the chicken.
Yeah, that's exactly
It's
where
just
it was
like
going.
the fight starts in the street, and then within 30 seconds you're suddenly on like an airline. They're fighting each other. That could have just been taken out of the film.
Yeah, you could have saved half an hour of my life there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need. You could have ended the scene with him actually getting away, and then take her completely out of it, and that makes no change to the story.
Yeah.
If anything, that makes me quite happier because I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
But then you need her to make a mistake to then be fed to the piranhas.
Yeah, well, you
Yes.
need the piranhas in there.
Yeah.
So probably that whole scene was formed around that.
What other questions do we have? I'm trying to think of any. Actually, no, we were talking about gadgets. So
Yeah,
the
we
gadgets,
were.
which is you're not going to talk about. This is going to be a mix of the film, the gadgets, and one of my Bond moments
Right, the film.
is Little Nelly.
Yes, I've got
Little
that.
Nelly is, by and large, the best thing of this film.
The coolest thing, yeah, 100%.
The fact that it's not even, I don't know, it is believable. I mean,
It is real.
It's a microlight.
Oh well, I think it was called an auto gyro at the time.
I
At the
know.
time.
I assumed it was a microlight. I know a microlight is just like a one-man flying thing.
Yeah,
But the
was-
fact that they brought it in suitcases
Yeah.
and it's... Yeah,
that the only thing about the editing there was they just sort of edit its construction.
I thought that was quite good though.
It was a bit comical.
Yeah, the fact it was just put... But then you suppose it was just a frame, very flimsy. But, yeah.
No, it's the coolest thing. And as a kid, that and the jetpack, those are the kind of same thing. They do the same thing. It's for kids to go,
Look at
wow,
that."
that's amazing.
Yeah, and then he's getting shot at, but he just goes
By actual
he
helicopters.
moves his head, and everything's fine. But then again, it's got all these like offense and defense mechanisms that he uses every single one of them against his helicopters.
I like the sort of, is it the sort of the little bombs or grenades that have their own little parachutes?
Yeah, the aerial mines.
Yeah, the mines.
Now, when I
that's
seen
it.
them, they reminded me of cluster bombs, which were banned by the Geneva Convention because if they don't hit anything, they will land on the ground and they will maim innocent people. So yeah, that was maybe the only bit that was like. But yeah, I like Little Nelly. Little Nelly has been probably mentioned in my life through the years because whenever we used to go like golfing, like my dad and my uncle, we would take out the golf buggy and call it Little Nelly because it looks very similar. A sad moment into my past.
Yeah.
But yeah, Little Nelly I think was the main.
I know that the
Oh, that's
Little Nelly, the reason they put that in the film is because it was a real thing that somebody was, one of the story guys was listening on the radio, an interview with the guy that created it,
Okay.
and he was talking about how he made it and all that kind of thing, and the guy was like, we need to put this in the film. This sounds cool. And that's why it's there.
The scenes with Little Nelly, was it actually flying?
Yes, I have a story about that as well.
Do tell. 'Cause obviously the green screen was shown, but
Yes, the
the
green-
scenes where it was a flying, I was like, that is actually flying.
Yeah, so there's blue screen scenes of Sean
Right.
in like the studio, but for the actual scenes there is an actual like stuntman pilot guy fighting 4 helicopters like in Japan in the mountain range.
What's your story?
The story is that the cameraman that had to film all that got injured in the. He got injured whilst filming it. He actually lost his leg.
Henderson?
Whilst filming that scene.
How?
I don't know how. It doesn't say. I couldn't find out how, but in a complication, he lost his leg whilst he was trying to film the scenes of the helicopters fighting little Nelly.
I'm trying to think of
dedication.
How that would have happened.
All I can think of is the propeller cutting through his leg.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Maybe it's one of those aerial mines that landed.
Yeah, could have been, but I thought that was really cool that it was real, and the fact that cameraman had an accident, they had to stop filming it, and they had to, when they got back home, they decided to reshoot it in Spain for some reason.
So that's not in Japan.
So that would be more safe shooting it again in Spain for some reason.
I suppose it's closer.
Do you want to know how he lost his leg?
How did he lose his leg?
So Wallace was piloting the aircraft during shooting, and cameraman Joan Jordan was attached by a harness.
Oh my god.
One of the Spectre helicopters near Little Nelly got too close and sliced Jordan's foot, forcing him to then have it amputated.
Oh
my
nice. God. Excellent. Dedication.
Oh my god. It gets worse.
What?
It says, tragically, 2 years later, the same cameraman was then killed while falling 4,000 feet from a bomber plane in the Pacific while capturing footage for the Catch-22.
Jesus
oh my
Christ,
god.
So
Daredevil.
And then 2 years later, died.
Doing the same thing.
What was the footage like though?
Did you?
It's just...
Did they save any footage? No.
R.I.P. man.
Yep. I want to see that.
Dies for his craft. That is actually quite cool though. They're not cool the fact that
they died.
But I mean, like, yeah, I think
It was a cool thing.
I think it does show the fact that
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 it's real.
scene is so good.
Yeah, that
scene,
is a good
that,
fight.
That is my favourite scene of the whole film. For the reason it is just, I mean, even looking, I think even when you know something's blue screen or green screen, you are taken out of that realm when the scene is just good and the content is quite good. So yeah, I did like that. So yeah, well done that.
Well done, that guy.
R.I.P.
So apparently the film was such a success in the eyes of the producers that the editor was then given the job of directing the next film because they thought it was going to be such a good film.
The next Sean film or the next James
the
Bond
next film? James Bond film.
We'll get on to that.
I think. So, also, did you know, I feel like everybody knows this fact, but The Rock's grandfather's in this film. Dwayne Johnson's grandfather's in this film.
I did not know this. Who does he play?
He plays, see when, what's his name, Henderson gets killed, the guy that's driving
the guy
getaway
who
car,
fights in the office.
and then he fights in the office. That's
I
The
believe
Rock's
that now. That's a big man. I'm assuming that's his dad's dad.
Yeah,
I know-
Graham Norton told me that when I watched the show.
Graham Norton told you that?
Yes, in person. That fact was in the show.
Oh, that's quite interesting. Actually. I do believe that because I've seen The Rock's dad and he's a wrestler as well. And just big.
Isn't The Rock's grandfather the one that they modelled that Moana character after as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not Moana.
Not the child.
I was ready to try and sing, but I forgot the song.
Yeah, that's what you don't know.
Yeah, I think
You could sing the theme song for You Only Live Twice, though, if you wanted.
no Nancy today.
I liked the song.
I like songs. I think everyone likes the song.
It's probably one of the top 5. Top 7.
You take that back. You shut your mouth right now. No, I think
It
it
is
is a good song, and yeah, it's one of those songs, but it is timeless. You don't need the film for the
Yeah.
song to be successful.
Because it's in Mad Men.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in Mad Men a lot.
Isn't everything in the 60s Mad Men?
Probably.
Mad Men just throw everything
Anything
60s.
60s.
Yeah. Retro, throw it.
Yeah, but I liked it because that Sound of 007 documentary, that story was good.
I forgot the story.
Where she's
Remind me.
because she's so famous, she's getting all these photographers basically in the studio.
Oh yeah.
And she's getting so nervous that she can't actually complete a good take. So
They could have just told him to get out.
So the last minute, John Barry had to cut up all the different takes and put them together to comp one good take out of 25 takes.
Amateur.
I also found, I didn't know that. I thought they went straight to her, but apparently they actually asked Frank Sinatra, her dad, and he turned it down. And so the daughter got asked.
I don't think this song would have been good with a male voice.
No.
Even Frank Sinatra.
What was he doing in the 60s?
Steaming. That was it. The entire 60s. Just kind of going back, Little Nelly was my favourite scene. And to be honest, there's not really many scenes in this film that I thought was like, oh, that's good.
Memorable.
Yeah. I watched it again because I had to watch it. I don't know if I would ever watch this again out of enjoyment.
Yeah.
You said at the start, I think the tropes are the thing that keeps people going back to, or keeps going back to the clips. There's too many questions though. I've asked the tune-up question. I don't really understand the Bond and Aki relationship. I don't really understand what the hell is going on at that scene anyway. How there's just all these women and it's like, Bond-san. like in this country, men are number one. I'm like, right, okay, what does this have to do with the story? And then these women appear.
They're just bonding. It's to be bonding and trusting with this tiger character.
Yeah.
But I didn't I didn't understand how the relationship with Aki gets so romantic.
Like that.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Because the first time they meet, they're in the car and she's actually running away from him and he's chasing her, which happens a lot. And then the next scene, she's giving him a massage and then they're just getting off.
They're together. And then it's like, oh no, we need to make you Japanese.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know why that scene was relevant at all. Also, it still doesn't look Japanese. It just looks like a guy in a different hairpiece.
Yeah,
and then they say as well, oh no, the reason that Japanese men look different from Caucasian men is they have no chest hair.
Yeah.
They couldn't even be arse shaving his chest. He still had a hairy chest at the end of it.
Yeah.
John said no.
So the reason is that they want them to get a closer look at the Spectre Mountain volcano thing, and the only way you can get close is by looking like a Japanese fisherman.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good...
You need a Japanese fisherman to get onto this island.
And then...
He'd be married. Yeah, he doesn't look Japanese. Also, there's other ways of getting on an island other than just pretending to be a fisherman.
And then the bit where he does go to the island with his Japanese wife, somebody welcomes him off the boat and he says something in Japanese with a really thick Scottish accent.
I do remember that.
And it was like, oh, it's all wasted.
I don't know. I think that whole bit could have just been taken out. I don't know. I didn't.
The death of Aki was cool though. That's probably a scene that stayed with me a lot. The sort of poison down the thread that goes into her mouth.
That was quite well shot. I liked that because I was like, how did they do that? How did they make it? Because you wouldn't see something globular like that.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what they did. I don't know if they did the whole Star Wars lightsaber thing of removing the bits of the film, so the white. I don't know what they did, but it was maybe not. Maybe it was just a very viscous substance. I don't know.
I liked that. It made me. That kind of stayed with me. I don't know why. I was just too scared to sleep.
To go to sleep. In case random assassins are in the ceiling. Yeah. There was also when they take the boat, when they discover it is the volcano, they take the boat over to this other part of the island which has poisonous gas.
And then they swim to escape.
And they jump out the boat and they swim out, and then they think, right, we need to go to the top of this. And then they make it to the top of a mountain in what's perceived to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he gets down. I think the volcano thing was quite cool. The fact that it's hidden in the volcano.
It's very Thunderbirds.
Maybe Thunderbird. What was first, Thunderbirds or?
I don't know,
Twice.
the puppet thing.
Yeah.
I had that island when I was a kid, and then the rockets are hidden. Thunderbird 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nerd.
As like a 5-year-old, it was good, and that has the same thing where it has a sort of volcano that you uncover and the rocket shoots out of it.
I assume that You Only Live Twice was first.
Probably.
I think it would have been weird for that to copy Thunderbirds. Maybe there was other literature beforehand that had.
I don't know what was first.
The Volcano lair is this film.
Yeah,
This
that's
comes back to
definitely this
film.
film.
But yeah, that, and then he just tells her, "You need to go swim and tell everybody."
Yeah,
And then dodge
bring
a
the
helicopter
ninjas.
that fights. But then it's like, how fast just to swim? How far was that distance of swimming? And then the ninjas managed to make it over.
Just in time.
Yeah. Do nothing ninja-like. Sneak up and then are immediately
caught.
shot. There's people want to get machine guns and then a guy running about with a sword. I'm like, mate,
Yeah, that's
read the room. Literally
right.
read your enemy. Don't let run about with a sword. And then there's a guy with a gun and the guy's jumping about with a sword and he's like not shooting him and I'm like, what are you doing? I feel like I'm shouting at some, like watching a game of football. I'm like, tackle him! Tackle him!
shoot him. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
just-
Aki's running around in her like bikini, trying
Yes,
to kill
Ellen
me.
bikini, yeah, completely. She's dried off 3 times in this day, in and out the water, running up and down a mountain. You'd be absolutely knackered, but no, she's still
in
still
the middle
fine.
of this battle.
Yeah, the other thing I didn't understand. I just thought was quite funny is, see when James Bond is caught, he's caught because he's taken something into a space shuttle,
Yes,
and that's why he's caught.
his air conditioner. That was it.
His air conditioner. What was his plan? Where are you?
What was he going to do if he
What
got?
are you going to do? You're gonna get into a rocket and then go up into space and go like, oh, shit, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know anything here. I don't know how to get back home. What was his plan? What was he going to do?
Yeah, that was a really go with the flow moment there.
Surely when they went, oh, stop that astronaut, surely he was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to go up there.
They probably wouldn't have hit him until they were like 3, 2.
Oh, no, I'm not real.
I don't know what his plan was there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, we should go on to question 2.
Yes.
Question 2 for everybody.
Even I don't know this question.
Right, so I thought the leg one, we'll go for that one. That was a good one. So, in what year does Henderson say that he loses his leg in his only meeting with Bond in the film? Did you get that
Not
when I asked you
told me.
it? Right, I thought that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good question.
Henderson, played by Charles Gray, who then becomes Blofeld 2 films later.
You're ruining episode 007. Very unprofessional of you.
You're talking about your Bond moments, so Little Nelly was yours. I actually had the magnet as a Bond moment, as just how goofy it was, but then also just the whole Blofeld unveiling himself and just that whole trope of him being
the cat,
Yeah.
aggressively stroking this cat.
stroking the cat bald
There's a lot of like lines,
and the piranhas
yeah, a lot of lines as well that my dad just randomly shouts out at points, like
from this film.
"What a PPK," and then there's like "Kill Bond now," and then "Goodbye, Mister." But I think he must be dubbed.
Donald Pleasance?
Yes.
Don't know. I know that this was the last film where they did a lot of dubbing. After this film, it becomes people's real voices.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Oh, okay.
Because I learned something this week. So Rachel and I have watched recently the extended cut Lord of the Rings, as we do every year.
Right.
However, we're actually going back over to watch the appendices. And there is something called, Ben will know this, is it ADR? Additional dialogue recording.
Yep.
And 98% of the dialogue in Lord of the Rings was all done again
All right. Okay.
after film. Think of how long these films are and how
Yeah.
much footage was shot over like 18 months. That was all done again in a studio because of planes and noise and everything
Yeah,
else. So
I get
a
that.
lot of films have to go and be re-recorded again.
Yeah.
So
I meant in the fact that it's the
of someone
actor's
else.
voice. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
But one person, maybe it's because we've recently watched Thunderball, but Did you not Did you not recognise the voice from Tiger Takanawa? Did you not know who his voice was? It was the same guy who voiced Largo in Thunderball. Voices Tiger.
Is it?
I noticed that straight away and I had to look it up, and it is.
Doesn't sound the same.
I thought he did.
on. I know there's a few voices in there where I'm like, that's not your voice. that's not you at all. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I spotted that right away. Maybe it's because I just watched Thunderball.
It's quite lazy. Why don't you pick someone else?
Pick somebody else.
You pick anybody else just to come in your film.
Just not some guy who's already done it.
It's kind of like going back to the Doctor No, where there was the Professor
Dent.
Yeah. The fact that he was then the voice of, or he played the physical body of Blofeld. And
why does it change so much? Like, those physical, the guy, Professor Dent doesn't look anything like Donald Pleasance.
It's a very stressful job. He's put some weight on.
He's put a lot of weight on.
He's lost his hair. He's lost about 6 inches in height as well.
Different
suit. I think
different voice.
Blofeld, the kind of villain. I don't think he was that threatening, other than the fact that there was piranhas. That was really it. Something I did notice as well is this is another film where it's like a blonde henchman.
Oh, yeah, I thought you would talk about that.
Who doesn't...
Hans?
Is it Hans?
I think it is Hans.
They just get the key that's conveniently for the exploder button.
Yes.
Oh, don't touch that. That's the exploder button. Why do we have this? Why do we have this thing? Yeah, I like that. But then, yeah, I think that's a Bond moment as well. Actually, the piranhas is the Bon Appetit, which it goes back to the lines.
There wasn't as many good one-liners, I think.
I've only written Bon Appetit, because always there, and a drop in the ocean after he drops the car in there. What did you have?
I didn't have any. I just had the Bon Appetit one. I didn't think there was any of that. There was nothing as memorable as
there was a lot of lines, but that's the only two that I thought were noteworthy. Literally noteworthy, just written down. Other ones were just like, you're not getting that.
So why do you think that Donald Pleasance is like small bald guy? Why was he cast and not just use the guy that was the body double for every other film? Maybe they just couldn't get a form in their head what they wanted him to be.
Jack, you don't worry about this.
I know that
maybe he was just a good actor. Was this before or after The Great Escape?
When's that? I don't know when that is. This is 1967.
I don't know.
I know that you can put this up on the screen, that when they were casting the role for Blofeld, they had some other guy whose name I can't really pronounce, but I'm going to try. It was Jan Yerrick, and he's got like it's a still of him as Blofeld with the cat in the suit and stuff, but he looks a bit like Colonel Sanders / Santa Claus.
I say Bond.
And yeah, so they at last minute decided he looked too much like Father Christmas. So,
James Bond's killed Santa. All right. I don't know. I think he does look quite menacing, and it's effective to the point where Dr. Evil is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I think they probably looked at it and thought, who's menacing, who's got quite a stare. They give him a scar as well. Again, the scar thing, the cat, the evil.
And then every film after that, he kind of looks like that, apart from Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
That's part of the plot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think he was probably just a good actor and he looked quite scary.
You had the collection of the little cars.
Yes. From
the magazines. Yes. Did you get the Toyota 2000?
Yes.
Was that not one of the very early magazines? Because I think I have that as well, like within the first 5.
It's got like a wee red flag on it, and it has rockets that come out the boot. I don't remember that in the film. I don't believe that. I think that would have been handy when there's a car following, rather than just having
a giant magnet
come and pull them away.
That's actually one of the rarest Bond cars about, because they only made so many.
Oh, you mean not the figurine, the actual physical car?
No, the actual car. They only made so many, and it's so rare. And they didn't actually make any convertibles at all. They only have a convertible in that film because Sean Connery's 6'2" and couldn't fit in the car, so they literally sawed the roof off it.
I like to think that they didn't saw the roof off at first. And you just get part of the seat and it was trying to jump. Just crushed in this car.
Just a drop of nails.
Also, that scene with the magnet is there's like a TV behind them where you can see.
Yeah.
So then the helicopter picks up. Right. Who's filming the helicopter? Because the helicopter's here. The camera angle is here.
Inconsistencies here. Come on, Lewis Gilbert.
I'm going to pull it apart.
Right, pull it apart then. Pull it apart.
No, that was it. That was me. That was it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it a judgment on that basis, but.
So, question number 3. What question do you want to do?
I don't know what the questions are. You pick. You
right.
can pick a really hard
I've got my food one. Right, okay. So, when James Bond gets fake married to the Japanese person, they have to go on a honeymoon. So, what type of food does 007 refuse to eat on the honeymoon because he's not getting his marital sex? That is literally it.
That is the reason.
That is the reason.
That is a good question. But
it's a good aphrodisiac.
maybe it could have been worded. Yeah, that actually kind of brings it back to the thing of you have a wife. Why?
Why does he need to have a wife?
Why? The fact that this island is full of volcanoes and is inhabited at all makes no sense. The people in the docks have guns. What? Just go to the other side of the island. I don't know.
It's complete. This film is completely different from the book, which I brought along.
What is the book like?
The book is actually set in Japan.
Okay.
But the book is after On Her Majesty's Secret Service book. So what happens at the end of that? This is a revenge tale.
Oh, right.
The book is a revenge. And Blofell's hiding in Japan.
Oh, yeah, because that's like... That makes more sense. Should have actually been the opposite, but...
He does have a...
Change it now, can we?
He does end up... The whole turning Japanese and getting a Japanese wife, that's all in it, in the book as well. But the ending's slightly different.
I suppose the turning Japanese thing is something that people keep going back to. I mean, it's about blending in, but in the same breath, he doesn't blend in.
No, but are you supposed to think he's blended in? Like, are they trying to...
Am I supposed to believe that he's blended in?
Yes, yeah.
To what end? He's still just a stranger.
Still just a 6'2" man.
Impossible. It's not Japan. Like, oh, it's Sean Connery. It's not like, he's still the tallest person there.
Yep.
He's got a hairpiece on. He's clearly not Japanese, and he's got a hairy chest.
Mm-hmm.
He's not fitting in any way, shape, or form. It's not like people are just going on that he's not suspicious. Nah, just I didn't need it.
No. At the end of the book, he gets knocked out basically, and he loses his memory, and he doesn't know that he's James Bond, and he loses his identity. And
this sounds more exciting.
It is. And then the Japanese wife knows that he's lost his identity, and then basically kidnaps him and tries to tell him that he is just a Japanese fisherman, and he believes all that, and he lives a full life as a Japanese fisherman until...
Hell, man, this is like gaslighting. This is gaslighting in the 60s.
Until right at the end of the book, where he reads something about Russia, and then all his memories come flooding back.
Is that like Call of Duty? The numbers, Mason. That's dark.
And but he doesn't realise that he's James Bond. He's like, oh, I know that it's something to do with my past life lies in Russia, and the book ends with him travelling to Russia to rediscover himself.
And also, I have no idea how to fish.
I can't speak Japanese.
Well, that was dark. That'd be quite exciting, though. That's like an exciting end.
Yeah.
James Bond with amnesia.
That's the word, yeah. But I don't know, maybe because Rodell was part of the writing team. To bring it full
Not
circle.
the Roald Dahl.
Yeah, the Rodell. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Rodell.
Oh, don't back to this.
That's what I was going to say. We came full circle. He's part of the writing team. And apparently he was brought on board to write the film. And he only got given 6 weeks to write the script.
Right.
So he basically decided that he'd make a plot that was similar to Dr. No. Which, when you think about it, is.
Yeah, so he just got fried every day. Just wrote nonsense. A magnet picks him up, niggas.
The whole thing that was about rockets and space and Spectre, he basically stole from Dr. No.
Yeah. They're very similar, actually.
They are similar. But it is the actual real Rodell we spoke about 2 or 3 episodes ago.
We're not going back to that. At this point, I would like to give a bit of scripting. I say scripting, but something because I will never remember this word for word.
Okay.
If you could please rate and review the episode on the medium that you're watching, whether this is YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or others, and if you could share the podcast on your social media channels, as that is the best way for the show to grow. Disclaimer.
Well done.
Over. I say well done, I just read it. I can read.
Yeah, that is well done.
Do you have any other Bond moments other than Little Nelly and the...
I don't know. The piranhas, Little Nelly, the magnet is a Bond moment, kind of, just because it's so stupid, but not really. The mountain, like, lair probably is in itself.
Yeah.
A Spectre moment.
My dad always remembers the cigarette scene, the exploding cigarette. He has an issue with that. He's like, why would you give him a cigarette? Because she's asked for a cigarette.
It's like his last wish or something.
Yeah.
Last meal rights or something.
That was it, yeah. I think he said, if I'm going to die, then
Yeah.
have a wee smoke. Where's the cat go? I really want to know where the cat goes.
When Donald Pleasance kills the Spectre agent instead of killing James Bond for some reason.
He kills Osato?
Yeah. So he could have killed James Bond then and there.
He could, but he waits till he gets to the corridor to the conveniently populated bit full of ninjas, and then he does that, and then throwing star hits him.
The throwing star hits him.
And then he goes and goes away. And then he presses a button, and then the whole thing is coming down.
If you're listening to this audio only, you don't know what's going on here. But yeah, the fact that it has its own monorail inside this evil lair is quite cool.
No. We got through this thing without you mentioning The Simpsons, and you mentioned
I
never monorail.
I never mentioned The Simpsons.
No, thank God. I think at this point it's maybe a good time to rate.
Yes.
Rate the episode, and I'm quite intrigued to see where you're going to rate this. But like last week, in fact, I'm going to let you do the rating first of all, and then I will change it.
I don't know. We could be here for a long time, as I think. That is hard, actually.
So for those listening, Jack's holding something, saying it's hard or something, giggling to himself.
This is hard, though. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here, Derek.
Right.
Tell me what you think.
Jack's rated it. That's pretty spot on, actually.
Is it?
I would actually fight for where it would be with Dr. No. I'm not sure if I prefer Dr. No over You Only Live Twice.
Right,
but I think You Only Live Twice has to... Yeah, I should actually just show it to the people. Hello. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
You're right, now I think about it, was Dr. No better?
No. I think Dr. No...
It doesn't have as much
started the series, it doesn't have as much... It was more silly.
This one was sillier.
More silly? Sillier, yes.
Yeah.
So the ranking is Goldfinger from Russia with Love, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Dr. No. And this will be going into the James Bond groups for everyone to argue with each other.
This is the one and only option. This is the right option.
Did we put a ranking of this last week? And people commented going, wrong. Is it wrong? It was like, this is an opinion, wrong. Yeah. That's where we are. And
I actually do. I think that's it's a harsh ranking, but it's true. I actually do like the film.
I don't think it's harsh. I think the
film.
film.
Second bottom.
If I was to describe it, I would say it was rushed.
How? What, the film?
Yeah, I think they've if anything, it's a film that could be in 2 parts or could be longer, but they've just thrown too much in.
I couldn't sit through it anymore. It's quite long enough.
Maybe
they could have cut a lot, like the helicopter, not the helicopter, the car magnet, the jumping out the plane.
Yeah. They could have got rid of the fat and then enhanced the quality of the other bits.
Yeah.
But there we go. Can't go back and change it now.
No.
50
years later.
Okay. Well, that was good. That is that episode done. We will return with... What's the next one?
On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, it's George? It's big Jorge?
George.
Jorge? George. Jorge Lazenby. Yeah, next time we'll come back with On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
There'll be a new James Bond.
Yes.
And a new Derek.
A new Derek with a butt tune. So yeah, join us on that, and we hope you have enjoyed this episode. And
buy the merch.
Share it with your friends and family.
Bye.
Bye.
Will we ever be good at this?